We're joined now by TSN's men's national team reporter, Matthew Scianitti in Minneapolis. Matthew, obviously a very disappointing result for Canada, a team that was not only favored to win this game, but a team that was favored to win the whole thing. What did the players you spoke to say about the loss?
Well, Jermain, let me tell you the story of Luc Dufour-Giroux. You're talking about a kid who's 19 years old, who plays for Fulham's academy system. He's never started a game for Fulham in the Premier League, and I saw him walking to the team bus with that 1,000-yard stare of a young man who started 3 games for Canada in this tournament. Again, he's played more for his men's national senior team than his actual club team. Played exceptional tonight and really throughout the tournament. And he stepped up to take a penalty, which is a massive moment for any player, particularly a teenager. And to give you even more background, during the Canadian Shield against Côte d'Ivoire, he walked up casually and just struck the football lightly. And he said he used that to kind of prepare himself for a situation like this. And then he does the complete opposite and bounces it, smashes it against the crossbar. He was disappointed. Dane St. Clair was disappointed. Alistair Johnston, Jonathan David, Tani Oluwaseyi. These guys are shattered because this is not how they wanted it to end. They wanted to get to at the very, very least, get to the final. So how they grow after this is going to be important, but utter disappointment from the men's national team.
Yeah, and we'll never really understand what it truly is like to be in that spot to take penalties. The pressure must be immense. Jonathan David and Tajon Buchanan left this game due to injury. David played a lot in this tournament. Is it fair to say that he was overworked in the 4 matches that Canada played, Matthew?
Yeah, let's pay particular attention to that number because it's 300 minutes, Jermain, and that's on top of the 58 games he's already played this season for club and country. He's overworked. But he came into this tournament as the captain of the country and wanted to play. Everyone I spoke to behind the scenes kept on saying, Jonathan David is unbelievable. His work rate is unbelievable. And the way he kind of walks to and from the field, he's just a kid who loves playing the game. But to see him just shattered at the end of the match, physically giving everything he absolutely could. You know, Jesse Marsch in his pre-match press conference paid particular attention because he was seeing, I imagine, the social media reaction to how Jonathan David's been managed, given the fact that he doesn't have a professional contract right now. And that's an exceptional thing for a player of his stature to even want to play for his men's national team. I think if Jesse Marsch could go back, he probably would not have played Jonathan David against El Salvador, although that was a key game for Canada coming off that disappointment against Curacao. But at the end of the day, if you're looking at a player to really highlight in terms of what he gave for Canada throughout this tournament, it's Jonathan David.
Yeah, no question that Jonathan David gave it all, left it all on the field. Now, we are now less than a year away from Canada's match at the 2026 World Cup. Canada has several friendlies scheduled over that time. What do you think the priority will be for Jesse Marsch in those matches?
Well, Canada doesn't have another competitive tournament. The next one is the 2026 World Cup. Really? Those friendlies that we've already mentioned, Colombia they've scheduled, the ones in Romania, the one in Wales, they have to be treated like competitive games, and Canada has to play its best lineup. A lot of Canadian fans, the Canadian public, is incredibly disappointed with what happened today, justifiably. But Canada didn't have Alphonso Davies because of his ACL injury. Moise Babito wasn't here. Jonathan Osorio got injured. Ali Ahmed got injured. Stefan Eustáquio didn't end up coming. So this wasn't Canada's strongest lineup. Jesse Marsch made multiple changes. It's time to play his best lineup. It's time to figure out who he wants to be in net, Dane St. Clair or Maxime Crépeau. And it's time for him to perhaps understand that that emotional dial that he had, that he turned up to 10 and maybe even 20 during the CONCACAF Nations League final against the United States that led to his 2-match ban, and the Jesse Marsch versus CONCACAF stuff that happened in this tournament, that has to stop now, because here is the deal. The goal of this team was not really to win the Gold Cup. The goal of this team is to progress as far as they can in a home World Cup. And if you and I are talking, Jermain, in a year, and Canada has progressed out of its group, won one or multiple knockout round games, which they could do at BC Place, no one will remember tonight. But if they don't, this disappointment will be magnified.